So here are a few stocking stuffer ideas that any cellist will love. First really awesome stocking stuffer I want to tell you about is ROSIN. Look how small it is. See, that's the perfect stocking stuffer, goes right there in the stocking. It's the perfect size. And this one is my absolute favorite. It's been my favorite for many years. It's from ANDREA, and I use the solo version. The not solo version is called PIACERE. Somebody correct me on the pronunciation there. But if you want to use the one that I use the solo version. It's great. And actually, when I was first introduced to it, it was a violinist that had some and let me borrow some, and I played it on my cello and instantly fell in love with it. You know, I used to think that, you know, rosin didn't matter or didn't make a huge difference, and that you could just use whatever rosin you wanted and it would pretty much be the same. That is absolutely not the case. Great rosin gives you a great sound. It's really important. If you do put it in a stocking, I would suggest maybe putting some bubble wrap even around the box, because, you know, rosin does break. I've broken mine a few times. So if it like falls down on the ground from the mantle or out of the stocking or whatever, then it's protected. The other thing that makes this a great gift is that if, you know, the cellist in your life already has some, you know, this stuff runs out eventually. So it doesn't expire that I know of. And so whenever the other one runs out, you'll just have another one there. All right, so this makes a great gift. The next great, awesome stocking stuffers that I want to tell you about are great ENDPIN stops. This one is my go-to. It's the one I use at home. It's the Black Hole by DYCEM. This thing is so powerful. As a matter of fact, I first saw it because a bassist was using it. And I saw the bass ENDPIN in it, and I thought, how is that thing holding a bass? He said, well, here, try it out. And it's so sticky, especially if you rinse it off. Because when it gets dusty, it doesn't work very well. I mean, all you gotta do is just give it a little wipe there. It actually works perfectly. When you actually wash it in the water, you have to peel it off the floor. It gets so sticky. And it's a solid material. There's no two pieces glued together like I've seen on some rock stops where stuff will peel apart. Very well constructed. I mean, I've had the two that I have for years. I have one in here for me and one for students. And it's also great for when you're playing like on a stone floor where you can't use one of these. It's great to use your actual ENDPIN when you can, when you're on a wooden stage or where you're somewhere. But of course, if you're at home and you want to keep your floors nice, that's why I say this is the go-to. This is my cello point. Now I just want to show you this. This is my titanium carbide tip cello point. It actually just goes on the end of the cello ENDPIN. So when I'm playing on a wooden stage where I can use something like this, then this is what I use, and it's fantastic. I wish there was some way, maybe in the future, there'll be some way to do this where I can put this through the video and show you how sharp this is, because I've had this for over a decade. I've probably had it, gosh, 12 years? How old am I? How long have I had this thing? At least 12 years. It's still sharp. Like, I can still hurt myself. It's very, very sharp, even though it's been used a lot. Okay, it's been through a lot of playing. I looked everywhere for this and can't find it. So why am I showing it to you? To illustrate the point that these titanium carbide tip things stay sharp for very long, and they are worth the investment. They're a little pricey. I think I paid $50 or so for this one 12 years ago. Now I looked online, and they do still make, or are making, titanium carbide tips for cellos. Just full disclosure, I'm gonna link some up that look pretty good. Make sure they come with a good return policy, but they are worth trying out. The ones that I've seen there are, where it's basically you're just replacing the whole ENDPIN, and some of them even have replaceable tips, so that the next time around you can just replace the tip. I guess it depends on how much you're playing. You may never have to replace the tip. That's the reason to invest in one of these. But anyway, the other ENDPIN stop solution, which fits in the stocking, is the ever popular strap, except that I don't really like it. But I thought I would show it to you because look, see, strap that up, that, perfect, beautiful. See, isn't that a great stocking stuffer also? I don't like the strap because, well, you're limited to exactly where this thing is. This connects to the chair, so this is foolproof, or people, you know, consider it to be foolproof. This thing is so sticky, I think it's pretty foolproof, all right? But of course, it's not attached to the chair. If you do get a strap, make sure you get the XEROS brand. That is the name brand, the go-to brand for these cello straps. I personally want the freedom to put the ENDPIN exactly where I want it to go, wherever I'm in the chair, and have the freedom to move it around. And I feel like the strap is kind of limiting in that way. But, you know, if you take the time to adjust it, maybe I'm just impatient. The next awesome stocking stuffer to tell you about is METRONOME. This SEIKO metronome that I have used for years now and love it. It's my favorite practice device ever. Having a great metronome is essential. This one has 3 different metronomes, so you can have some presets there, and it's 3 different sounds. The absolute best quality of this metronome that I think is really, really important, ready for it, is that it's loud enough. Some metronomes, you know, cellos can get to be kind of a loud instrument when you're playing, And I do have some students that have trouble hearing the metronome when they're playing, and the very, very smart people at SEIKO, I guess, figured this out. This metronome, see this cutout design back here? It actually gets louder when you put it on the stand. It also plays reference pitches. It is actually the only practice device that will play every pitch on the cello. Okay, it has a huge range of reference pitches, which is really awesome. Almost as important as the fact that it's loud enough is the fact that this metronome will do subdivisions. I really love the ability to subdivide the beat when I have slowed something down, because slow practice is so very, very important. And it will go down to a tempo of 1 beat per minute. I'm not sure when you would use that, but it will do it. Most of them will only go down to around 30. So this is a fantastic metronome, and again, perfect stocking stuffer, love it, and reasonably priced. Next on our list, a humidifier, or what some call the Dampit. I think Dampit, though, is a brand name. I'll link up both here in the description. I prefer this one because it's slightly bigger than the Dampit. The Dampit's the green one. I was introduced to this one, and so I've been using this design ever since it's a little bit bigger, because I really want to avoid my strings getting close to the fingerboard, which is what this does. So this goes inside the instrument. You put water in it. The water goes through these holes, and what it does is it releases water into the instrument. I have a whole video about just this here on the channel, so make sure and check that out. We are in the middle of winter. It's actually maybe a little bit late for using this one. I put mine in a little late this year. I should have put it in sooner, but it's in there now. It's fantastic. Again, right there in the stocking. Everyone should be using these in the wintertime. Because the wood expands and contracts at different rates. You have the top made of spruce, the back made of maple, the sides are made of maple, but then the thinner than the back, and all this stuff is moving at different rates. And in the winter, what happens is the cello does this, okay, and the strings get really close to the fingerboard, and then you end up having to put on a winter bridge, and this minimizes that movement greatly. So really, really important to have one of these. And the great thing about getting this at the holidays is that you'll be giving it to them before we get to the super cold month, super dry month of January. So definitely it's not too late for one of these. JOBY cell phone mounts and cell phone selfie stick. These are fantastic. You know, we're living in this digital age where we're doing a lot of remote learning and learning online, and maybe you're corresponding with the teacher. We've all been doing a lot of online and remote learning here lately, but even more important than that, actually, is just the ability to easily record yourself during a practice session. And so I have actually a couple of different things. I use this one. This one doesn't have the mount on it because I use it on my Zoom recorder here for the videos. But this is the selfie stick, and both of these options come with this cell phone mount. And JOBY makes great products. These things are really, really durable. They last for a very long time. You can purchase this separately. I'll link all these different options up now in the description. But you can get it with the selfie stick or with this mount. So if you have a tripod, or you have a short tripod or something lightweight that you can put something like this cell phone mount on, then go for it. This is the GorillaPod. On the channel here, I have a whole video about practicing with a cell phone, and there's a really, really great important reason why you maybe should practice with a cell phone, so be sure and go and check out that video. You can throw the phone or the device up on the music stand, and that works. Sometimes it's nice to really be able to see and hear yourself accurately the way everybody else is seeing and hearing us. So having these little phone mounts and things that you can also put on the stand are really great. And this one, for sure, is definitely a stocking stuffer. This one might be a question mark. It's kind of big. Oh wait, I think I could get it down a little smaller. All right, so get them an extra big stocking. So if you're still not sure which one might be the right one for that cellist in your life, check out this playlist right here full of videos using all of these items. And if you do know which one you want, well, check out the links in the description.